It's finally December, and what a year it has been. Today's recommendations should make for a very exciting read, so let's get into it. Today, December 1st, is World AIDS Day, and the theme for this year is Global Solidarity, Resilience Services. The theme focuses on the global commitment to deliver quality, people centered HIV prevention and treatment services for impact. In commemoration of World AIDS Day, we are spotlighting UNAIDS World AIDS Day report. The report explores the challenges towards achieving the 10 fast track commitments set in 2010 to eliminate new HIV infections, reduce AIDS related deaths, and eliminate HIV related stigma and discrimination by 2030. Chapter 3 looks at the impact of COVID-19 on people living with and affected by HIV, and the rest of the document reports on the three 2025 top line targets to refocus the world on the 2030 HIV target. These include comprehensive high quality HIV services, removing societal and legal barriers to HIV services, and finally, integrated approaches that are people centered and context specific. Next on my list is the fourth progress report of the Global HIV Prevention Coalition on progress in the implementation of the HIV 2020 Prevention Roadmap and its 10-point action plan. The roadmap and action plan are centered on the reduction of the annual number of people newly infected with HIV globally, set at a target of 75% reduction in 2020 from the 2010 baseline. The report focuses on 28 target countries. The first section of the report reviews progress made in implementing roadmap actions and identifies challenges and solutions, including those related to the COVID-19 pandemic. It also makes recommendations for the next phase. The second section of the report is a country situational analysis of the 28 target countries, of which 21 are African countries. Thursday, December 3rd, is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This year's theme is Building Back Better towards a disability inclusive, accessible, and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. In commemoration, I am spotlighting the United Nations policy brief on a disability inclusive response to COVID-19. This brief was published earlier this year. The brief highlights the impact of COVID-19 on persons with disabilities and outlines key actions and recommendations to make the response and recovery inclusive of persons with disabilities. It also identifies 4 overarching areas of action, which are: number 1, ensure mainstreaming of disability in all COVID-19 response and recovery, together with targeted actions. Number 2, ensure accessibility of information, facilities, services, and programs in the COVID-19 response and recovery. Number 3, ensure meaningful consultations with and active participations of persons with disabilities and their representative organizations in all stages of the COVID-19 response and recovery. And finally, establish accountability mechanisms to ensure disability inclusion in the COVID-19 response. The policy brief is a very quick read for anyone who will be speaking on disability issues vis-à-vis the COVID-19 pandemic in commemoration of International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Another recommendation I am making on disability is the 2018 United Nations Flagship Report on Disability and Development. This report focuses on realizing the Sustainable Development Goals by, for, and with persons with disabilities. It's a long but very comprehensive read that showcases the United Nations efforts to address disability issues in the context of the Sustainable Development Goals. It brings together data, policies and programs, and goes ahead to identify best practices and recommended actions to promote the realization of the SDGs for persons with disabilities. Our final recommendation is one for anyone interested in digital financing for global development in general or for the SDGs in particular. The report is a documentation of the work of the UN Secretary General's Task Force on Digital Financing of the SDGs. The task force, put together in 2018, has been working to recommend and catalyze ways to harness digitalization in accelerating financing of the SDGs. Their final report, titled People's Money: Harnessing Digitalization to Finance a Sustainable Future, summarizes the findings and recommendations developed by the task force in the last 2 years. These are the 5 reports that I am spotlighting this week. And for those of you who are commemorating either World AIDS Day or International Day of People with Disability this week, or maybe both, tag us on our social media and we'll help you get the word out there. Wishing you all a very, very happy month and a very fulfilling week. Goodbye.